Hi, so breaking news, and for someone who's very neutral in the world race, pretty sad news. Certainly it looks like trouble for Serenity. I don't want to say Serenity are disbanding. I mean, in 12 hours time, maybe they will, maybe they won't. But a group of players, Frag and a group of friends who have been raiding in Serenity, have basically moved back to Method. This has literally happened as I talk now, and I suppose the guys who are outside of that group in Serenity don't even really know what's going on. But it sort of has posed a few questions in my mind. I mean, I queried earlier in the year with a video what's going on with Serenity, because for those who don't know, you had this situation. Of course, there'll be plenty of people in the comments who will talk as if they're knowledgeable about the situation. The vast majority of people are not. Only the people like in those guilds are, really. And maybe not even everyone in those guilds knows everything. But, you know, a group broke away from Method, didn't really like the way it was going with Method and formed Serenity. And, you know, they were going to be the new world first as the one that was going to forge ahead. Didn't quite work out that way as such. We've actually had some world first races in Legion. It's been fantastic, in fact. It's been absolutely marvellous. We haven't had that for a while. So, you know, we've had Method and Serenity and Exorcist into the mix as well. It's been absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I was querying, the last time I sort of talked about this, Serenity hadn't actually got the world first. And you're thinking, well, you know, how's it going for them? What are they feeling like? Given that their intention must have been to get world first, the players, a lot of those players that formed Serenity were used to getting world first with Method. So how was it feeling? And then just when you sort of think it's coming good and maybe they're really pushing, and it was going to get really exciting for Tomb of Sargeras, this bombshell drops. I don't know the reason this has happened, by the way. I don't think people outside of that group really know the reason either. I'm sure things will be said over the next couple of days, and I'm sure I will be following this up on Friday when more is known. But it has got into my head something else I want to talk about, which is the nature of World First. Because on the face of it, you think to yourself, well, people sort of move between guilds anyway. Because all those great players, all those top players, those very hardcore players, you know, the ones who are left in Serenity now, they've got a couple of choices. They could actually say, do you know what? You know, the people who are left can actually say, you know, we like the way this is going. We like the philosophy of Serenity. You know, we can totally recruit. I mean, they're not going to struggle to recruit people, whether they, you know, and they'll have time now. They've still got time before Tomb of Sargeras. It's not like this has hit just before that patch came out. That would have been huge trauma if it had happened just on the eve. So it hasn't happened just on the eve. Obviously they've got work to do. They're not like the rest of us. They, you know, when raid tests are coming on schedule, they need to be doing that. They need to be preparing for Tomb of Sargeras. But, you know, they have a bit of time to recruit others if that's just what they decide to do, and they can be very, very picky. And I'm sure there'll be really good hardcore players that would jump at the chance of joining Serenity. But maybe from their point of view, it'll be decided, can they get the team together and playing together quickly enough? Because they won't want to think to themselves, you know what, we're probably looking at like maybe competing in the top 3 and then maybe come good in Argus because we've had this setback. They'll be still wanting to get that world first. But it got me to thinking, let's say with Serenity, they do decide to call it a day. And as I say, there's no suggestion that's what they're going to do at the moment. You start to think to yourself, it'll be an interesting time, because it'll sort of show you what does there need to be a world first race. Because as I say, at the moment we've had several guilds that have been in it. We've definitely, you know, right into the mix. Method and Serenity and Exorcist have been basically sharing the spoils in Legion so far, and with every sign that they'll be right in the mix and competing with each other in the next tier as well. And even though the race is over so quickly these days, the fact that there is a race is brilliant. And you think, well, what is the defining feature? It can't be the number of players, because, you know, there's world first capable players in all of those guilds. The total number of players hasn't gone down. We're not talking about half the guild stopping playing suddenly. We're talking going somewhere else. So that has presumably eased people out of Method who are now available. Doesn't necessarily mean they'd automatically go over to Serenity, of course. They could go somewhere else. But, you know, the total number of players presumably is not a huge barrier. It's a bit of a barrier because there's only so many players who can play, first of all, at that level, and in terms of that hardcore nature, have the ability to do it, you know, in terms of being able to fund themselves with, you know, or having a job that allows it. I can't imagine there's too many jobs that really allow it. But, you know, having that, but also having the mindset and the desire to really, because it doesn't, I'd hate it. I don't know about you guys, I would hate doing that. So then you think, so what is the limiting factor? Is it leaderships? Are there only so many leaderships that can really push a guild to those heights because of the preparation required and the leadership skills required to keep that cohesion going and to get that togetherness that's got to be needed in the tough times? And you know, and sort of now we'll see. I think we'll certainly see what the Serenity leadership are made of. It'll be a really good test for them. Personally, I hope they do recruit and that they get some people on board and that we still have that race. I mean, what I would hope comes from this is it's just literally a group of players who have not liked the Serenity project in the end, have gone over it and they've thought no, actually, I don't know whether it's a personality thing or whether it is a philosophy thing or whatever, but they've gone to method, you know, and but that Serenity keep, you know, fill those slots in and get going and push so that we do have that race again in Tomb of Sargeras. And but there we go. I mean, that's basically all I know at the moment. As I say, inevitably stuff will come out. I don't know that this will necessarily be a huge drama issue. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We'll see what's said. Obviously, it only becomes a drama if one group of people say one thing and another group say another. Or if Serenity does actually, as a result of it, take at least a mortal wound, if not a fatal blow. So we'll see. But if Serenity just pick up some new people and go with that, and no one badmouths each other publicly, then there's no drama in this. But it is like, you know, big news, but we'll know more in the next couple of days. So I will follow it up then. So anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll see you later.